Bermuda ended their trials run in 5th place, still secured a spot here in Contenders proper, but again, these players have yet to be tested against their opponents, Skyfoxes. Heading out now into Sanctuary Busan, we have Shu on the lineup this time around, picking up that Zarya role from Guru, who will be subbed in intermittently for this team. Skyfoxes going for a very aggressive DPS comp. Ball and Who Are You on this Pharah, immediately pressuring that Sombra Goats of Bermuda back away from the point.
Yeah, it looks like they are going to try a different plan of action here. Pizza Demon going to be the first one to switch on to the Ana. They're going to go ahead and use the Diva to try to control the Pharah in the air as well. And looking over at Skyfoxes, they're going to get an easy point A take, because, or, the first point take, because everyone from Bermuda had a switch, so everyone's going to be about 30% behind in ult charge too.
Not just that, but now they have to attack a defending Pharah who has such a positional advantage on all of these ground-based troops. Shu's really going to have his work cut out for him in order to keep this bird of prey cooped up in her nest. Ultima Wep now on this Tracer. This is a hero that has seen a lot more play from many of our DPS here in Contenders, and he needs to get that pulse bomb soon because Skyfox is still very comfortable just playing keep away.
Yeah, everyone blinking and rewinding, translocating out right before getting that final rocket to the face. And Lastro going to get first blood for Skyfox. It's actually pretty crazy that 32% into their first take. That's the first blood from any team so far, as Bermuda looks like they're going to fall in the meantime. I do like that return kill coming in from Pizza Demon, but this has been all Skyfoxes so far.
Yeah, Skyfoxes have that free do-over of the res from Max Mercy, so Bermuda's still playing catch-up here. Things are getting a little bit dire. Skyfox is nearly at that 50% point. Oh, and Carter overstaying his welcome. Things will look a little bit better, though, for Bermuda once that EMP does come online. They need some way to engage this Skyfoxes group, but now that Boostio has popped that infrared sight, Skyfoxes have just zoned them away again. You're not going to want to peek against a Widow who knows exactly where you're coming from.
And one of the best things about those sites is knowing exactly where that Sombra is. There's Carter's so close to getting that EMP. You can keep tabs on that Sombra while these wall hacks are up and keep him down. And you're seeing that right now. They probably delayed that EMP by a couple seconds, and Carter does finally have it, but what are they going to follow up that EMP with? Bermuda already taking a ton of damage even before they're able to get to the point. The EMP is going to come over from the Skyfox's side first, hack everyone who's still alive. The rocket barrage is there. Things are firing on all cylinders so far for Skyfox.
Oh man, they are certainly taking flight right now. And it is not just Who Are You. Skyfox is going to take an easy Sanctuary round win here on Busan. And oh, Umte slept. That is just so painful. These sleeps coming in from Lastro, who, wowed everybody with his Zenyatta play last season and now showing up again on this Ana. It's been shutting down every single one of Bermuda's engagements.
Yeah, and something that's really interesting, especially for Lastro, is now that Alarm is playing in Korea, there's kind of, the Zenyatta hole that needs to be filled, right? Who is going to be the next Alarm here in Contenders? And I think a lot of people have put Lastro right up there with Alarm, and potentially this season could be such a breakout performance from him, and it all starts right here on their first game.
Exactly, and especially in this head-to-head battle with Pizza Demon, both teams now showing that Goat's composition is going to be more and more apparent which Zen will reign supreme. Skyfoxes, though, flexing attitude their new DPS onto the Sombra, so that Sombra Goats look for Skyfoxes not dead just yet. No Diva, though, for the side of Skyfoxes, so when Carter does build up to this grab, everybody's got to scatter because there's no potential to gobble up that ultimate.
So Skyfox is trying to get to the point first, trying to get some advantageous positioning. Bermuda, though, going to get a little bit more of that high ground, so they're still kind of jostling to see exactly how they're going to get these picks, how they're going to engage onto the point. The point is open right now, so the rotations have happened, and Skyfox is actually keeping onto the high ground on the bridge on the top side, and so no one really going to the point. Everyone's pretty scared, especially Bermuda, because they don't exactly know where Attitude's going to come in with those hacks, but the HP bars from Bermuda are starting to fall, but they're going to get a couple return picks. This is still anyone's game, but with Mac and that boot kill, it might be a little harder for Skyfoxes now to come back, because after Mac getting that boot kill, Ultimate Wep started to pop up on that Brig. Bermuda gets the first point cap.
Oh, Ultima Wep feasting on all the squishies left on the objective right there. Skyfoxes unfortunately lost Clone Man in that trade with Umte so early on that what looked like a big advantage for them, Attitude already with that EMP in hand, turned out to be a lost fight. And you have to remember, even though Sombra gives your team a lot of utility, if she doesn't have that EMP, if she's not actively hacking, you're really playing a 5v6 kind of game, and Bermuda able to take advantage.
Speaking of hacks, EMP goes through, and everyone from Bermuda stays alive. Umte was so very close, but the Transcendence comes in just in time. Transcendence goes through the Earth Shatter as well, so no one, even 4 people on the ground for Bermuda, not one person dies until Clothesman gets that pin kill onto Ultimate Web. So this is a 6v5 for Skyfox, and they also have the rally armor at the disposal. Carter investing a Graviton Surge into this fight, down 2 people. They do get a kill onto Mac, but that's not going to be enough to, I think, prove that Graviton Surge was worth it.
Oh no, certainly not, especially after you've lost a member so early on due to that beautiful shatter from Clone Man. Definitely one of the top Reinhardts in North America right now, on fire, and deservedly so. Skyfoxes now, though, do want to try and win as many consecutive fights as possible. Might be a little bit easier said than done because Bermuda charging in here, Umte ready with his own shatter. Mac has to stay away from that CC, otherwise his team may very well fall. Of course, the other option is for Attitude to build up this EMP very quickly, hit Bermuda before they expect it.
And Attitude can do just that. That Sombra EMP could come in just a second, one clip, and that could be it. But no, Umte's actually going to get the kill onto Attitude, giving Bermuda a 65. Now they can decide how they actually want to invest the ultimates in this fight. Bermuda gets so much more flexibility in this fight as Ajax is going to go ahead and use that sound barrier to attack the point proper. Skyfox is going to have to invest that Transcendence to keep everyone alive. They know Carter doesn't have the grab, so it is pretty safe, but Carter is coming up on that grab very shortly, so if he's able to get that very soon, he could get it back. But Attitude already back with that EMP. The Graviton Surge is going to lock 2 members up. Skyfox is getting that first kill, that first blood onto Umte, and Skyfox is getting about 40% in this fight, surpassing Bermuda's percentage so far here on Mecha Base.
Yeah, a really good rebound play from Skyfoxes. Lastro was forced to pop that Transcendence just to keep himself alive in that fight, but it turned out, to be a pretty good thing. Mac was able to lay in that sound barrier later, no problem. And the biggest key moment was Attitude catching Carter in that EMP. That Zarya was 80% up to the grab. If Bermuda had been able to brawl things out a little bit longer, we could have seen this fight drag on longer, and Skyfoxes may have run out of support ultimates. As it stands now, though, Pizza Demon recognizing there's very little time left. We're going to go for that anti-nade to shut down a potential trance.
Carter's going to go ahead and throw out that grab. Is it going to be enough? The HP bars for Skyfoxes are getting deleted. Clothesman going to be the first one out for Skyfoxes, and they were able to cap the point during the fight. A lot of focus going in onto the high ground, but the point was open, so Bermuda getting a nice free flip, but I think that could be good for Skyfoxes because they only lose Clothesman.
Exactly. Only one lost fight, no ultimates blown, and coming back in here, stocked with the EMP and a close trance, Skyfoxes have a big advantage.
Oh, the Earth Shatter, I believe, gets canceled by the EMP, and the Shatter comes through the other way. Umte was on the ground. Some good support going on to Umte, but it is not quite enough to keep him alive. Carter might be the next one to fall. That he does. Skyfoxes have an open point. They got to get there.
Yeah, nano boost onto Shu does mean that he's going to stay alive a little bit longer, but Pizza Demon himself falling here, Transcendence from Lastro, just to make sure that Skyfoxes can secure this point, and they will.
Will Bermuda be able to touch? There are a couple of members alive. The Baby Diva is not exactly who you want to start overtime, but that's exactly what we're going to see. His ultimate on that Doofus is already hacked. There's really nothing you can do when you don't have those cooldowns on that Doofus. It was a desperation play anyway. 3 quick kills coming in from Skyfoxes. Good grenade from Pizza Demon, but at this point, Skyfoxes have got this in the bag.
Yeah, a nice last-second anti-nade too. You have the Desperation 76 from Carter, but alas, Skyfoxes just too strong with their tanks on the point itself. They take that first control win.
Yeah, so a couple of mental mistakes from both teams. Skyfoxes, I think, letting that point get flipped during that Graviton Surge was one of those, and then only getting that single kill onto Clothesman, I think, ends up biting Bermuda in the butt a little bit near the end of that round because they weren't able to get a little bit more ultimate charge to try to get ahead on those ultimates, and then at the very end, Shu unable to get back into the mech. When you're setting the Baby Diva to start overtime, you're already probably in an uphill battle.
Yeah, exactly. She's not exactly a G.I. Joe buff man to hold that point down. And Bermuda, though, what I do like about what they're showing here is good flexibility and good adaptation. How many times have we seen them swap heroes in response to what Skyfoxes are bringing their way, rather than, just bashing their faces against that rolling ball comp? However, unfortunately, they still seemed a little bit discombobulated, potentially like they haven't really practiced this comp as much as, that pure GOATS composition. And that's starting to show here, especially against a team as well coordinated as a Skyfoxes.
Well, and it's actually pretty interesting that you're saying that they're well coordinated, because Attitude is not a flex tank player, right? So we're probably not going to see D.Va maybe at all during this series, because, Skyfoxes did lose their flex tank player before the season. And so Attitude, Boostio, and Who Are You are all DPS players. But, in this meta, it's okay to run Sombra all those games.
Exactly. And, Sombra can be an extremely potent weapon in the right hand. Skyfoxes already has that history behind them. They know how to play around this hero. And, while Attitude wasn't necessarily, racking up an EMP per fight, which is definitely possible for Sombras, every single time Bermuda tried to engage, they had to calculate, is there an EMP here? What is the threat level? And that's, just extra layers of stress, extra layers of, just aspects of the game that you have to constantly keep in mind.
Yeah, and this isn't the first time a team has actually put a DPS player in that D.Va/Sombra/Mei slot. We actually saw XL2 utilize Buds on the flex take, because who's the one that plays Sombra? It's your D.Va player most likely. So this is something that you could totally plug and play and make it work. I actually think it's something that teams could consider in the future as a viable option, in terms of flexibility. But we're only one map in. Bermuda did fall on Busan, so Skyfoxes are up 1-0. Next up is Assault on Anubis.
This is where Bermuda's teamwork, again, will be even more severely tested. Assault is one of those maps where there's not really a whole lot to be said for brawling. You do need to have some kind of executable plan every time you attack the point, because of the, major spawn advantages for the defense, how these points are set up. You need to look for those coordinated team fights, go for those clean rotations, not take a ton of damage on your approach. So Temple of Anubis here might be a little bit of an uphill battle for Bermuda, but their main tank, has shown incredible work all the way going back to Korean Open Division, where that was the first time I was introduced to him. And so there's certainly opportunities here for him to put, some good numbers up here, help lead his team to a victory. Bermuda is still wondering, what exactly we're going to be rolling out with, but Skyfoxes coming out here big and bold. I love this version of the bunker. You have Attitude on that Sombra. She can scout in that backline, provide crucial information since you're not going to be running a D.Va. And Who Are You on the Junkrat? I really like this. This is kind of harkening back to those good old, halcyon days of Jake Rat. Spam up to that tire really early, and, Bermuda's probably going to lose a player.
This has usually been a very friendly map too at Junkrat, because if they want to flank left, if they want to go through main, you have to go through those grenades. But even getting that initial pick onto Attitude might actually open the whole point up. There's going to be a return kill onto the Hanzo on the other side, so it's a 5v5. Are they going to be able to prevent the reses? So far, the res does go on onto Carter, but Boostio getting another kill onto Ultimate Weapon. That's actually really good for them, because the Mercy was busy getting the res off, so it wasn't walking the Pharah on the leash into Sky, leaving them vulnerable. And now Ultimate Weapon's going to have to try again from spawn.
Exactly, and Skyfoxes have already rotated onto the bridge here. No lost members, only more ultimate charge to speak of. Who Are You halfway there, but Boostio and Attitude racing each other for the very first ultimate in the Skyfoxes game. Ajax already Valking here, trying to just give Bermuda a little bit of that cushion so they can push into the face of all of this overwhelming damage, but they haven't yet found that first blood.
Yeah, Clodeman's actually been forced into this position in the quarter. Actually just dropped the shield. He's not going to have that for a little while longer. The res isn't stocked, and there's the EMP coming through. 5-man EMP coming from Skyfoxes. Some return kills, though, making it interesting. It's actually going to be okay for the attacking team as their spawns are a little closer for them. So they're going to have their full 6-member team a little bit fast, but are they even going to need it? As Carter going to show up, and I believe his first Contenders game in a very long time, get those kills and open up the point for Bermuda.
Oh, Carter, really, what an amazing breakout play right here for Bermuda. Almost single-handedly picking off the DPS of Skyfox. He's got to do it again, though. There's a tire coming in. Won't be the end of the world if somebody from Bermuda comes down, but this would be a beautiful... if you're going to switch, why not?
Right.
Go out with a bang.
Found some value with the Rocket Barrage,
Yeah.
at least you can say that. And so, you know, you only saw it coming from a million miles away. That's all right as well. So the switches do come, and so they are going to lose a little bit of that potential to snowball into the next fight. Sometimes you'll see them stay on the Pharah just because the ultimate comes in, but then that delay on the ultimates happens a little bit later. It's better to do it right now instead of, you know, getting punished for it later if you don't win this first attempt on the point on B. So right now, Carter getting another kill. He just switched characters, and he's already going to get first blood for this point B point on Anubis. So it's 65 now for Bermuda.
Yeah, Attitude right here, desperately trying to put in a bit of damage, but it's going to be nothing. Peanuts spitballs against Pizza Demon's Transcendence. That Zen now is hacked. Butio trying to come back in here, pick up a kill for his team, start stabilizing this defense once again.
Nice body blocking coming in from Butio as well. If you're a Zarya, you can go in front of that self-destruct, use that particle barrier on yourself, and block line of sight to some of your teammates. And Skyfoxes seem to have righted the ship here on the defense. Bermuda started off with that opening pick, but that was pretty much the only thing in terms of optimistic play for Bermuda going into this point. But now, talking about optimism getting taken right away from that Bermuda, who are you getting 2 kills?
Yeah, who are you on that Bermuda showing his stuff? We got 4 ultimates to Skyfox's name. Bermuda themselves only with a single Earth Shatter. And we're probably going to be looking at a couple more economy pushes for Bermuda as they build that ultimate bank back up, because Skyfoxes are ready and willing to blow this EMP very early, cut Bermuda's momentum in half before they even touch this point.
Well, remember, the EMP is just a pause button on these fights, so hopefully for Skyfoxes, you're only going to need this EMP to stop the next push, and it's about to start. Bermuda probably know that this is a losing fight because of that ultimate disadvantage. Bermuda really trying so hard to at least get the support ultimates online before they engage, and then the question is how much do they want to invest, because their ultimate economy is actually about to even up and surpass Skyfoxes here, as the rally's going to come through from Who Are You and Ultima Web. Earth Shatter down as well. That's a huge shatter coming in from Clone Man. 4 members on the ground, and that's going to be it for Bermuda's attack.
Really unlucky. Pizza Demon, he knew exactly what was going to happen, but just still a couple seconds too late to save his 2 members, and now he's only going to be 26% for this next fight. Skyfoxes, while they used, a couple of ultimates in that last battle, Butio still has that all-important grab, and that grab v Transcendence battle is what defines who wins these GOATS brawls more often than not. And Bermuda, again, this worked out quite well for them in the past. They're going to swap onto the Ana and try and shut down Skyfoxes rather than play for their own Transcendence. A pretty risky play here, but again, 3 minutes left. They still have some time.
Leap in the net will appear. Someone once told me they're definitely leaping. Will the net appear from under them, or will it fall? And they'll fall right to the ground. Sound barrier now coming out from Bermuda. That's going to be one of their 2 ultimates, and the Graviton Surge is going to follow. It's going to hit the wall, trap Skyfoxes, and actually kind of protect them from the damage. And the EMP is coming through. The remaining members of Bermuda are all hacked. They're not going to be long for this world. Clone Man probably actually didn't need that Earth Shatter to win this fight. Now Skyfoxes have depleted their ultimate economy outside of the sound barrier and rally coming up.
They got to be feeling a little bit confident coming into this last battle with just the rally and the sound barrier, but Bermuda certainly bungled that last chance. That grab could have been a death knell in any other position, but you're absolutely right, Boop. Architecture coming in here for MVP. It was a big anti-nade too, even from Pizza Demon, but alas, Bermuda not able to follow up and find any of those frags. However, only 1 tick stands between Bermuda and capping this whole first point, so they don't need a long fight, they just need a clean one.
They need the right fight, so the self-destroy is coming in into the back line. No one falls because of it. Pizza Demon using that nano, and now Lastro going to be peppering in those orbs onto the back line. Clema getting that first blood for Skyfox. Attitude was slept, and they're going to take him out, so this is a 5v5. So Bermuda, though, going to lose another member. Ultimate Web already using that rally, so they're not going to benefit from it. That armor stacking just yet. Lastro is starting to pop off. Look at him go.
Oh, man alive. He is feeling it right now, and he wants more. He's thirsty for blood. The Skyfoxes again have held. Bermuda each time walk right into that Skyfoxes trap. It's easier said, it's pretty difficult to try and dodge something as surefire as, you know, an EMP and a shatter. But at some point, Bermuda needs to find the right sleep, find that right frag, because again, they find their ultimate economy cut down to nothing. 60 seconds on the clock now.
They got the sleep onto Attitude. They actually got him out of the game for the time being, but it wasn't quite enough. Skyfox is coming up on another. The EMP will be ready for them on this next fight. They have a huge ultimate advantage. The Graviton Surge is there. The EMP is next. This is over for them. Clean fight coming in from Skyfoxes is good news for Bermuda as they're given one more opportunity to push.
One more opportunity. It might be sans their diva, though, as Shu getting painfully staggered as baby divas are wont to do. One more desperation touch is possible for Bermuda, but Skyfoxes, again, Clone Man could easily shatter them en route.
That's a beautiful stagger as well, and with 15 seconds left, this diva is going to have no time at all to join their team and make it on to the point. Shu has respawned, so it looks like there is going to be enough time, but it is going to be lagging behind. They're not going to have that defense matrix to export them onto the objective proper. Beautiful boop coming in from a Mac. Attitude going to get that kill onto the Lucio, so this is already a 6v5 now for Skyfoxes. I'm sure Shu is back in time at this point. Attitude getting another hack onto Carter. That is potentially going to be an Earthshatter, though, making things interesting coming in from Bermuda. That was a pretty big one, Shu, getting that kill onto Lastro, but the kills are still coming in for the defensive side, and even with these spawns, too, Skyfoxes has locked this up. They just got to clean up the point.
Exactly. Finish your plate here, Skyfoxes, and the map completion will be yours. Skyfoxes, again, just showing that experience here. A really good boop from Mac to keep Umte from being able to start overtime means that Lucio had to sacrifice himself just to start that overtime, give his team that chance. But alas, Ajax got hacked, and at 95% to sound barrier, that was a kill that Bermuda could not afford. There was no way for them to sustain, you know, any miraculous hope for a long drawn out fight on point B. And so now they got to look to their own defense.
Alex Jackson definitely might want a little bit more time next time to try to get to that sound barrier. Skyfoxes, I'm loving this triple DPS, you know, team that they're running right now with Attitude on the Sombra. This is not the, you know, team that they were anticipating to run even a couple days ago. This is just something that has been brought up ever since their flex tank could not participate in it this season, and so Skyfox is, you know, making lemonade out of lemons right now.
Exactly, making sculptures out of sand, what have you. Skyfoxes now going to look to their own attack, and it kind of is just, you know, whatever they would like to do. They've already shown great proficiency on the Hammond, on the triple DPS, on the Pharah looks. If Who Are You truly pulls out this Genji, this will be a beautiful day. I feel like the last time he played this was like 2016.
It's like DLC or something.
Right. Is this
Overwatch 2?
Is this Overwatch 2? Yeah. So Tracer, Genji, definitely viable heroes in this new on this new patch, we're going to say, for Skyfoxes at least, but you might want to go for something a little bit more secure on that point A attack. So we'll see.
Looks like it might be happening. Yes, Who Are You is throwing those shurikens at the wall and then going to walk right back. Not really feeling it. Tracer's probably going to follow. Let's see what they're going to choose instead. Seeing that break go up, we're probably going to see the same look that Skyfox has been running for the rest of the game. Clone Man, though, beating a ton of ultimate to Bermuda there after getting hacked.
Yeah, a little bit awkward here. Clone Man, not known for running a soup kitchen for, you know, ultimate charge, but Bermuda themselves, they're happy to take it. Umte already nearly 30% up to that Primal Rage, a key ultimate to try and stall out this point A defense. Skyfoxes, their attitude here really showing 50% to that EMP. Skyfoxes could just play a really patient game until that ultimate comes online.
Well, and that's what a lot of people do with their Sombra, especially when they're painted purple like that from the Pizza Demon, but no casualties after a beautiful grenade coming in from the Ana player on Bermuda. Attitude gets super low, translocates away to safety. It's going to find a health pack and then come right back in, and Skyfox is, I think, doing exactly what you said, waiting for that EMP to come. It's very, very close to happening.
Yeah, they want to play this patient. They want to play this safe. Rotate up onto the high ground here. Force Pizza Demon off. And indeed, that Ana will drop onto the low ground. So now Skyfoxes hold a lot of those positional cards. Umte looking to see if he can just tickle somebody down with that electricity cannon. Bermuda need an ultimate to come online soon. Nano and Primal racing each other right now.
And so they're going to try to attack the objective proper. Clone Man trying to take Carter out of this game, but unable to do that just yet. They try to isolate some members from it, Bermuda, but Bermuda has all come together and given away a tick. The Pizza even using that nano means that this is gonna be on, and UmTay gonna get that first kill onto Mac, gives us a 65 for Bermuda. The EMP didn't quite happen, and the EMP is actually gonna come the other way instead, getting 3 hacked for Skyfoxes, but again, no casualties because of that Transcendence. A better EMP coming in from Attitude. UmTay so close to being taken down. The Primal Rage, though, is going to be enough to keep him alive. Not for much longer as Bukia finally getting that kill, but the follow-up damage wasn't there immediately like what you want to see. The damage was actually spread out onto a lot of members of Bermuda. Contenders going to pop up and pop off a kill onto Team Solution, and the rest of the team will follow. Bermuda will be ceding this point.
Yeah, this is the big risk when you decide to run Ana on defense. She is so good at enabling your tanks, at shutting down the supports on your opponent's side, but there is a glaring weakness in that you will not have Transcendence for that grab. Skyfoxes read that playbook perfectly, waited. You could see that they were very patient. They weren't overextending, trying to chase down UmTay. They knew that Bermuda had to eventually come back to them. They played that patient game, and now again with only 30% left to another EMP, they might just poke around once more, set up a perfect shatter for Clone Man, and finish this out in just one fight.
It's really nice to see how they're alternating their shields. Some people take damage, some people then getting the heals for their supports because Mac's so close to that sound barrier, and they're going to be able to match that sound barrier with Attitude's EMP. They could actually probably start the engage right now, but Carter going to translocate into the backline, and EMP,
nice.
4 members have been hacked. Are they going to be able to handle this one once more? Yes, they will, as Mac going to use that sound barrier. There's no EMP to worry about, so that is the safe one. Attitude now going to use the EMP for himself. UmTay going to get a nice healing pack from Ultimate Weapon. EMP not going to find any value for Skyfoxes. These teams are getting a little better day by day on dealing with these Sombras.
Oh, indeed. They know exactly which hiding holes, which alleys to back into, where to position themselves. Kudos to both Sombras, though. Attitude and Carter were both able to catch their opposing Lucios with that EMP. But again, it's not just about pressing that pause button, but what you do after you disable your opponents. Bermuda now, for now, hold strong, and Pizza Demon actually going to stay on this Ana. Not bad at all. You can certainly hold your own against a Sombra, which I think is what Bermuda want with this pick. Zenyatta, while he does have that Transcendence, is a lot more vulnerable.
Well, we saw the EMPs come in one right after another, but look at the difference right now. You've got Carter at 83%, Attitude just at 21%, so Skyfoxes are going to have to wait a little while longer before this EMP or Graviton Surge combo can happen, even with the Earth Shatter on at the ready. Lastro has that Transcendence, so Skyfoxes have a lot to defend an attack coming in from the defensive side from Bermuda, but if they really want to go into the back line, they're going to need all of their members. Also up getting that kill makes this a 65 for Bermuda, who have really stabilized.
Yeah, Bermuda looking incredibly strong on their own defense. And now they're going to try and push Skyfoxes back even further. UmTay cannot overextend, however. He has been taken advantage of in the past. And Skyfox is going to force Bermuda to use that speed boost with Kuryu's rally.
Graviton Surge is going to catch UmTay, but that's going to be about it. There is no EMP to follow that up. And Bermuda going to show up right now, get another 65 for this fight. Skyfoxes, I think, pulling the trigger pretty early on that one, maybe thinking that they could catch someone from Bermuda out, getting that grab out, focusing them down, but the sound barrier was there.
Sound barrier was there, however, it's not going to be there next time around when Attitude does have this EMP in hand. Beautiful anti-nade again by Pizza Demon. That was what allowed Bermuda to take Skyfoxes down. So the backline of Bermuda functioning very well, very coordinated right now. However, they have lost their preemptive tool in Carter's EMP. Now they have to take the fight on the objective in order to use this Earth Shatter or grab.
Earth Shatter coming in from UmTay hits absolutely nothing, and he's actually very low right now. The support is there. Bermuda will have all 6 members, and both teams going to reset just for a little while longer as everyone gets healthy again.
Yeah, Shu should be considering to grab early. They don't really have any other tools besides this nano.
He's going to do just that. The Graviton Surge is going to start UmTay, going to get 2 quick kills to start things off, and Skyfox is losing a ton of time. They're down to the 2-minute warning for them.
This is unexpected. Bermuda, team kill right there. You can hear Athena announce it. Who would have thought? 5th place Trials team right now holding back Skyfoxes. However, no ultimates online now, and Skyfoxes are salivating at the thought of Attitude finally landing that EMP. This is one of the other difficulties when you are not running that D.Va. You don't have that bomb to buy yourself even a little bit of space. You have to use some other method in order to make a a safe engagement onto the objective.
Bermuda doing a really good job at making Skyfoxes think twice on exactly how they want to approach the point, because they're taking a lot of damage before they even get there. Attitude needs EMP, and who are you going to get that first kill? This is the best opportunity Skyfoxes will have until the very end of the game to capture this point. They already got 2 kills. They need to clean it up. Uptake so very low. The Earthshatter only going to hit Lastro. They're not even going to be able to kill him.
Oh, really unlucky stuff here, and a grab from Busio, not going to find any kills, but keeping Shu from being able to stand on this point and stall it out further. And now, Who Are You knows exactly where that Zarya is going to be, kills him almost immediately. Skyfox is in desperation territory.
And so the shield dash is going to knock the right hand onto his back and onto the next game, because Skyfoxes are up 2-0 against Bermuda.
Whew. That was, oh man, that was like something for my ranked games, right? You're holding so well all the way up until, the last few seconds in the time bank, and that's when, boom, your opponents just blow every ultimate they have and you lose the whole point.
Yeah, but Bermuda showing some signs of life at the tail end of Anubis there. We were a little worried because of control. That does benefit the underdog, because it can be a little skirmishy. The strategies are a little less defined. But coming in onto Anubis, they really started to shine there on the defensive side. Unfortunately, they were unable to cap point B on their offensive push. But, a couple things change. It might be a different story on Anubis.
Yeah, Bermuda actually not looking too shabby at all. The fact that they were able to play a clean, proactive defense like that and come out unscathed without losing their own members to overextension, shows that these are players who, grew, took that experience from, the past season into this one and have started, changing things around. That was a really, really solid defense. The fact that they were able to, force Attitude to hold on to that EMP for 3-4 fights, that's a feat.
Well, it seems like they're actually kind of figuring out exactly what Attitude tried to do with the Sombra, and the comp that Skyfoxes is running is becoming more and more predictable, potentially for Bermuda. But one defense is not going to win an entire match for you. They have to try to get that reverse sweep in order to take down Skyfoxes, who are one game away from locking this up. Let's see what each team is going to do after the half.